Hello and welcome to our 90 minutes live football life stories. It's something we're doing throughout the summer, just to keep ourselves occupied and keep you informed as to what's going on as well. So if you are watching this and you're liking what you see and what we're doing, then do like the video and do subscribe on the YouTube as well. But let's get on. Our first guest, and I'm absolutely delighted to introduce. It's Dave Kendall from WARE. Dave, welcome. Thanks for doing this, mate.
Cheers. Thanks, Simon. Thanks for having me.
No, it's a pleasure, mate. It's a pleasure. So, I mean, obviously, this is your chance to, for the WARE fans to get to know a little bit more about you and, what you've done in the past and things like that. But there is one question I'm sure they all want to know, but well, I mean, we'll come to that later. Okay. So like I said, I mean, we've covered a few things. I've spoken to you, times before, and I know some of the answers to some of the questions that I will be putting to you. But like I say, it's for the benefit of the fans. So we're doing it, more for them. So I mean, first of all, when did you start playing? When you was a youngster, how old was you when you started playing?
I think I was about 8 years old. Joined the local team. I used to live in Nazin, so nearest team to me was Warren Rangers. So yeah, I was about 8 years old, and it was one of the coaches there was Mickey Hazard, so like Tottenham legend. Yeah, I got introduced to the sport through him, and got to play with his son and a few other good players. Ended up doing pretty well in the game eventually. Yeah.
And so, what position did you start out as?
I was always a defender. I was at a very young age. I was moulded into a sweeper role. Just the fact that I was, believe it or not, a little bit quick back then. I know I'm probably the slowest player in every squad I've been in since, but yeah, it was reading of the play and getting into position well. And I wasn't very tall either up until I was about 16, 17. So yeah, I was in the sweeper role. So I think Mickey Hazard liked a bit of Beckenbauer now, I think.
And so did you stay with that team throughout your youth career?
So youth career, I was with Broxbourne Rangers. That sort of stayed with them for a few years, and then we changed name. All the players stayed the same, but we changed into Somerset Ambury. And then we did pretty well. I think it was under 11s, and Wormley were our biggest rivals back then. And from then, there was 5 or 6 of us that were signed by Tottenham Hotspur, just to go and train with them and then play with them at the weekend. So obviously couldn't do that for our local teams anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was kids football for me. Yeah.
So I mean, you went there. So how did you transition into men's football?
So it's a bit of a weird one. I was at training with Spurs for a few years before signing for them at under 11s, I think it was. And then I was with them for 6 years, playing obviously under whatever level it was, up into under 16s. I didn't get signed at YTS at the time it was called, so that was like a pro contract for a couple of years. And yeah, weirdly enough, it knocked me for 6. I didn't play the sport again for another couple of years really, and then till I think about 18 before I went travelling before uni. Got back into it, played really amateur team called Epping. I don't even know what league they're in now, or if they even exist, to be honest. But yeah, got back into that, and that was proper men's football on a Saturday. But yeah, level wise, I couldn't tell you what sort of level that was. But just to get back into the sport before going travelling and then going to university.
Yeah. So what you say you went travelling, you went to university. Was you playing? Obviously not when you was travelling. Was you playing when you was at university?
Yeah. So I luckily I ended up going to one of the best sporting universities in the country. It was Brunel in West London. Not that my course was anywhere near as good for that, but we won't talk about that. Yeah, so at Brunel University, they're in the top uni league that they could be in the country. So they're playing the likes of Bath and Loughborough in knockout competitions, things like that, vying for the best university team in the country. And it was, a university where I bumped into a young Liam Hope for the first time during football trials. And after our fresher trials in the first year, we both made it into the third team. So not exactly what we were after. Liam at the time was playing semi-pro back in Oxford, probably for Northley or Didcot, I think. So then we got picked for the third team, and it was a bit like, thinking that we'd, I don't know, not walk into the first team, but get a shot early on. But it wasn't to be. But we both made our way up into the first team by the end of our second year. Got through to national semi-finals in our final year, which was pretty nice. We lost that to Bath University, which was a bit devastating because we beat them twice in the league in the build up to that, and then just lost to them in semis, which was devastating.
Yeah. And then so obviously you finished university. What route did you take then?
So luckily enough, our manager of the university team, he was assistant manager of Eton, who at the time I think they were in step 4 over in West London. So I got a few games to them. And then it's a bit of a strange one. I went travelling again. And when I've come back, I've come back home to Essex, and I didn't really know anyone to get involved with football again. So I think I went back and played a few games for Epping. And then it was my old friend, old Liam Hope, who carried on playing semi-pro football. He'd moved Essex Way to be with his now wife, because she's from Essex Way. And he got me involved at Enfield Town, who were at step 4 at the time. And me and him ended up at Enfield Town. Him obviously a goal scoring legend, but I was there for a good 4 or 5 years as well. Managed to get promotion, I think it was about 10 years ago.
Yeah. And you was there a while, and you said to me before that you've always been pretty loyal to clubs, and and stayed there for 3-4 seasons, haven't you?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I don't see the point of moving around. I know a lot of players do it because they're out of favour, or they're looking for a little bit of extra money, something like that. But once I'm a little bit settled in a squad, I know the players, I know the management, and I get along with them. I don't really care if I'm not in the team or not, because I'd still fight for my position in the team, and just to try and be a little bit loyal and get a bit of regularity to what's going on. So of every club I've played for, I think I try and stay as long as possible. And with WARE, this was my 3rd season. Cheshunt, I was there for 6, and Enfield for 5, I think. So it goes to show for a longish career, I haven't actually had that many clubs.
Yeah, I mean, when you mentioned Cheshunt there, we'll speak a bit about them in a little bit, and what they've done. But you joined WARE from Cheshunt, and you said to me that wasn't exactly a popular choice amongst the squad because Tom Bruno had joined WARE just before you, hadn't he?
Yeah, it was a little bit strange in that he wanted to come across to WARE, and I think Cheshunt weren't too happy about it, so they sort of delayed that transfer from taking place. Myself, I was out of favour in defence. I was playing a few games in midfield for them, and my agent, I should start paying him, to be fair, Liam Hope, he's telling me bracket WARE was pretty good. Obviously I know the facilities are decent, and he said management, owners, everything is geared up to push for promotion. So I wanted to leave Cheshunt, who by then we got promoted to step 3. And then I don't know why, it's not a popular choice for the powers that be at Cheshunt and WARE. I don't. They obviously don't get along for one reason or another. I don't know if it's over, because I know Craig Edwards was manager for WARE for a tiny stint. before doing what he's done at Cheshunt, which is fantastic. But yeah, they just they didn't want to put it through straight away, so I had to wait a little time, and yeah, finally got the move across to WARE, which happened, and yeah, it was a blessing, to be fair. But yeah, I didn't want to leave Cheshunt in the first place. It's just I've been there for so long, and it just, yeah, it wasn't looking like I was getting back in anytime soon, and I'd given it a go for a good 3-4 months, I think, of the new season, and yeah, time to move on when you're getting older.
That's it. So that call obviously, came in. The request was put in, and you got straight in contact with Liam, did you, knowing that he was there already?
Well, I think he was just keeping tabs on me as well, on football web pages, seeing that I'm not starting another game, and I think where I had a couple of injuries, and at that point it was a now or never time. We need to sign a centre back. Do you know anyone? And I think Liam was one of the go-to men for the gaffer at the time, so he was like, well, I actually know someone who's probably looking for another club, and yeah, sorted me out a phone call with Paul, and yeah, c'est la vie.
Yeah. So I mean, your time there, it's been scuppered by COVID, and that first season, was in the Isthmian League. You're clear at the top. Hanwell, who was second, and well, I think 6 points behind you, and that was the next game, and then that was it. Everything ended, and we all know what happened. It wasn't decided on points per game. It was all null and void. How did that feel for you and the guys?
Yeah, it's not great. I mean, I obviously joined partway through that season. The guys were flying at the time, so I had to bide my time to get into the team. By then I was cup tied, and WARE had a great run in the FA Cup as well, so it was a good few weeks before I actually started playing. But yeah, within a few weeks or a month or so, I felt incorporated into the squad, so I was part of that winning mentality. Just felt like every game we were playing, we were going to win. Games that we didn't, we should have done. I don't think we ever got outplayed, and it was just pretty devastating. I don't know how many games were left at the end, maybe 5 or 6. Top on point games, top on, and we still had Hanwell to play. So yeah, it was just incredibly frustrating. And me at the time, I must have been 31, 32. I think I had a little one on the way. So back then it was contemplating, is this going to be my last season back then?
Right.
And so with COVID putting an end to that, it was I can't go out like that, to be honest. Spoke to the gaffer and went, look, we need to win this league no matter what. We should have won it. We're going to win it, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, thought I'd give it another go. And yeah, it just shows the mentality of the players as well, because I don't think a single player left as well from that season finishing to the new season starting once we got out of lockdown, because we all wanted to win. Yeah.
I mean, there has been one or two departures, but that's more through sort of like, in injury related things rather than actually, wanting to leave the club. But I mean, obviously last season, pretty much the same thing. Didn't even get anywhere near, the amount of games played, that season before. Then on to this season, and you said about the FA Cup run that first season. Fantastic FA Cup run this year for you.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I mean, I think it is the equivalent to the furthest I've ever been into the competitions before, and it's just, it's a strange one. Everyone's just buzzing around the club once you get that draw through, and then you think, oh, can't we? And then basically beating a team from 2 leagues above, eventually after a couple of decent comebacks, and then going toe to toe with Kidderminster at home. Although I wasn't actually a part of it, I was on my brother-in-law to be stag do's, so I was following it on Twitter and everything, and just what a result for the boys that was to nick a draw. It wasn't to be in the away leg. They obviously outplayed us, showed their class, but yeah, it's weird looking back at the fact that we drew with them, they drew with West Ham. Obviously it doesn't work like that, but just think what a result that was to get as far as we did.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, those two, the home games against Hemel and Kidderminster showed that never die, never say die, and keep going till the end. Momentum that the squad have.
That's it. I mean, I guess that stems from the season where we were top on points per game, 6 games to go. No matter what the result was going into the last 5 minutes or so, you always felt like we'd pull something out of the hat if we're losing or drawing. You always felt like we were going to score, and that's what carried on, I think, into this season. Didn't matter who we were playing. I mean, I think Hemel were 2-0 up against us after 10, 15 minutes, it felt like. A little bit shocked at their quality, because I think might look to their league position, because I think at the time they were bottom of Conference South, and then it was get yourself in at half time and then just think, hang on a minute, we did all right after that. There's nothing special. And it took a while. I think Lou got the equaliser, great header, and then it was just keep churning away. You could see the nerves just settling into them as well, because I'm not sure they even won a game all season. And then
been struggling. Yeah. And then it was that man Liam hoping the replay that pops up with a winner.
Yeah, I mean what a game that was. I mean, start to finish, everyone to a man just completely did their jobs. Obviously, a 1-0 win looks great on paper anytime, but away to a team 2 leagues above was fantastic. It was a bit of a scramble from the corner, knocked down, and then Liam got a good connection, got us the goal, and even then, with half an hour to play, still felt it wasn't necessarily comfortable for us, but I don't think they created too much up to that point or even after that point to really worry us. You could just tell it would be a special night when, as soon as that goal went in, it was a bit of an eyebrow raise, and we thought, hang on a minute, I think we're going to do a bit here.
Yeah, that's it. And obviously, let's mention the fans. Them home games and those away games, fantastic following you had for all of it.
Oh, I mean, all season it felt like we had great support wherever we went, but to watch those the highlights back of those games, to see the goals go in and how loud that collection of fans were behind the goal when they were screaming and celebrating with us, it was fantastic. And the reception after the game they gave us was amazing as well. All offering to buy us a drink afterwards. We're the ones who could be getting them a drink, really, but that's how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, so let's come on to the league form. So the aim was, or the minimum aim was playoffs, which you achieved. Finished 4th, and you had that playoff semi-final against AFC Dunstable. Very tight game, wasn't it? Not a lot of chances for either side, and the pitch wasn't exactly the greatest condition either, was it?
No, and I think that had been a little bit our downfall in the season. So much so, the gaffer questioned our ability to play on grass, because I think we'd gone about 3 or 4 games on the spin without getting a win on grass, and he's just questioned if we can even play on it. So it was, we were looking at doing a few training sessions on grass, because obviously the facilities at WARE are so good, 4G pitch, but you don't play on that every week, and we were getting found out where we hadn't done before. The Dunstable game is case in point, but by then you're thinking that we should be used to these conditions. We'd played them 5 or 6 weeks before, I think, on that pitch, beaten them 2-0, and just adapted to the conditions pretty well in that game. And I don't think it was any different to the playoff semi-final. It's just we couldn't create any clear-cut chances. I know they missed the penalty, we at the bar, but other than that, it was few and far between trying to get anything clear-cut on the day.
Yeah, you saying about playing on grass, but I mean your away form was good throughout the whole season, wasn't it?
I mean, that question was raised to us quite early on, I think. So then we sort of put that to bed with a couple of decent performances out on grass, and then I think in the end, I think our away form is actually better than our home form. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
because
no,
I think
you're right. Yeah,
the Didcot game might have put pay to that, because it wasn't the greatest of games or pitch, and well, in the end that result didn't even matter, to be fair, because it just meant we played the ball away and got the win anyway.
yeah, yeah. And then so obviously, it went to penalties. You took one of the penalties, and you said to me like the other week that you felt that sort of responsibility to step up and take one.
Yeah, I think whenever I've been in that situation before, obviously I don't think there's any been as high pressure as that. I have missed. I've only missed one though. But it's, as soon as the gaffer asks who fancies one, although at Dunstable I think there was a little bit of, he was looking around. I don't know if he was expecting people to just say I want one before he asked, but he just got his pen and pad out and went, who fancies one? And to be fair, 4 of us straight away just hands up. Yep, we're in. And I just, having played as long as I have, I feel that responsibility that I would back myself to take a penalty, get it on target, just hit it hard, and hopefully it goes in. I wouldn't want to put that sort of pressure on anyone who doesn't want to take one, because you might have your strikers who were on the pitch at the time feeling that pressure to take one just because they're a striker. Doesn't mean they want to take a penalty. And that's not saying they didn't want to, but in that flash of who wants a penalty, the 4 of us, and then Taff, like about 10 seconds after, all went, so that was the 5 there and then. Gaffer trusted all of us. It's not like he went, "Oh, are you sure?" or "No, you're not having one." He trusted us all the way. If we want one, he'll let us have one.
Yeah. So and then obviously, so it comes to a penalty. When do you make your mind up where you're going to put it?
Well, Hopey, as soon as everyone knew what order we'd be taking the pens in, he got us into the huddle and was just like, pick your spot, don't change your mind, just hit it true. And just believe that it's going to go in. And of the 4 of us that needed to take penalties, we sort of made a joke that I don't know what the average age was of us, but got me, Hopey, Bruno, and Albert to do. I think we're all over 30 now. And everyone, everyone picked their spot, and luckily enough, they all went in. To be fair, I don't think the keeper had a chance of any of them. He got closest to mine, I think. I was happy he didn't get anywhere on it.
And you all went the same side, didn't you?
We did. To be fair, Liam's was a hard act to follow. Other than Harry Maguire's in the Euro final against Italy, it's the best penalty I've seen. Just absolute top corner, smash off the bar. So after that, it was a bit of a wall. But pressure slightly taken off me in that the guy from Dunstable took his penalty before me. He missed. So not that I didn't have any pressure, but it was a bit less pressure than on Hopey and Bruno for the first 2.
Yeah, of course. And then, so obviously, I mean, won that on penalties, onto the final. And something I saw when I turned up, I don't know when you saw it, there was a sign above one of the ends saying "Kendall, 1 more year." What were your thoughts when you saw that?
So I was just walking to the change rooms, and a couple of the young lads who must have spent a little bit of time putting it up. I don't know how they got up there, to be fair. They just tapped me on the shoulder and went, "Kendall, you seen the sign?" And it was a bit of a, oh no, like what do I do that? Because fully respect it. I'm not one that likes to be in the spotlight for anything, and having that as the only sign up in a playoff final that's going to be your last game, it was I think it just piled a little bit more pressure on, to be honest.
Someone said they was going to get it down and give it to you. Have you got it?
I haven't got it, no, and I haven't heard if that's what someone was going to do. I think I jokingly said I was going to grab it and bring it home and, I don't know, use it as a duvet cover or something. But it'd be nice to
have it as a tablecloth or something.
Well, I don't know if the missus will let me do that, but Sean's got some fantastic photos of it with like me in the foreground, it in the background. It just looks fantastic, and it's on a disappointing day with regards to the match. It's a really fond memory I'll always have.
Yeah. Let's talk about the match. You know, you went 1-0 down in the first half, conceded early in the second half. There was like, I think six minutes to go. Managed to bring it back to 2-2. What were you thinking then?
Honestly, when it had gone 2-0, I think we got to 80 odd minutes. I think even I'd had a chance to get at least a shot on target, and just thinking we could play all day here and not score. So I'm not sure if we'd even made the keeper work at that point. And then scoring out of nowhere from a corner, great header from Albert. Then it was a little bit like, hang on a minute, that mentality again of we've still got a few minutes to play here, we can pull something out of the hat. And then after that, it was just like a barrage of chances. And I know it was only 3-4 minutes in between the goals, but we had a good few crosses into the box, few dangerous chances before we'd even equalised. And when that equaliser's gone in, there's not more better feelings you get, I guess, in life, let alone the game of football, where you get an equaliser like that in such an important game. Everyone's buzzing. I don't think anyone even celebrated together. I think everyone just ran off in their own direction.
Yeah.
Then it was grab the ball, get back. We want the win. We've got a few minutes to just grab the win here. We thought psychologically they'd go, all their heads were down, and we'd been the fitter team going into the last 10 minutes or so, which is probably why we were able to create a few more chances, because up to that point they'd been unbelievable defensively, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. And then obviously, we all know what happened. It went 3-2. Thing is, when they go 3-2 up, it's you've got to go for it, haven't you? It's either going to be 3 or 4-2, and it ended up being 4-2. Yeah,
that's it. I mean, I've just said there's rarely any better feelings you get in football than what we did to make it 2-2, but as eclipsed by probably the worst feeling you could ever have in the game, playing the level that we do, just conceding that late in a game like that. And it was, it's still not over it now, to be honest. And recounting it's a little bit, it's just infuriating again. And a lot of us think about anything that we could do better. And I certainly just thinking I could throw my head in a bit more with that. And then, obviously it's gone in. And then we pretty much just went 10 up front to try and get that equaliser. So I don't really count fourth goal as anything, because it was, up to that point the game was done, I think. And they obviously just scored on the break to cement it. That's so frustrating.
I bet, mate. I mean, I've only got about 7 minutes left on this meeting, so I'm going to go through the next stuff a little bit quicker. That big question, mate. One more year. Do you know what's going on yet?
So I've got a little boy being born around the 23rd of July, and that was what cemented me calling it a day. I'm 35 now, and by the time he's born, I'll be 36. Just to give a little bit more support to my missus, who's stuck with me through thick and thin for 14 years. So bless her. But that the way it ended, that last game is just it's a bitter pill to swallow. And I think there's at least 1% of me that's thinking about not finishing, to be honest. But I'm 9%.
It's a watch this space then, is it?
Watch this tiny space. But we'll see.
We'll mention Cheshunt quickly. I mean, they've done fantastic. They was in the playoff final the same day as you.
Yeah.
Cheshunt, Step 2 club. Wow.
What an achievement that is. I mean, being there for so long and just, I've managed to get promoted with them to Step 3, which was great. And then I think technically the next season that they finished, which is this season, they've gone up again. So it feels a little bit like back-to-back promotions for them. And what a job the owners, the chairman, and Craig's done there to pull that team together. There's still got a good 4 or 5 players there from step 4 that got promoted up to step 3. And to be playing step 2 football, what an achievement that is. I mean, the club's obviously going places with their planning permission and everything like that to build up the ground. So yeah, good luck to them.
Yeah. Right, so I've got some quick fire questions for you. Okay, so I know the answer to this one. Which team you support?
Spurs. Okay. For my sins. Yeah.
Tell me about it. I was going to schedule this meeting for Thursday, but then I decided against it. So.
Oh my God! Yeah, don't. I just.
We'll see.
Cheers.
You got any pets?
Yeah, I've got a cat, half Mancoon, called Louis.
Okay. Pepsi or Coke?
Pepsi, Max.
Right. Okay. Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Post-match drink?
Well, it's been Moretti for us for the last year or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ronaldo or Messi?
I'm a Ronaldo man.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about do you have a match day morning routine?
Yeah. Well, I'll try and do it quickly, but yeah, it's always 2 Lucozades with a rehydration thing put in them. Always have a bath, a little bit of honey on toast. Now it's like playing with my little girl as well, a little bit beforehand. And then I'll pack my bag about 3 times, to be honest, to make sure I've got everything. And the way I got treated by the players this year for worst trainer, I've always had to go out a little bit earlier to buy the sweets. So cheers, boys.
Any other sports that you play? I know you play golf. You said to me you've got some sort of like swindle or something going on, haven't you? But you've got a society that goes on, and you do some videos for them.
I have done. Yeah, I'll try it. Well, it's a golf society from our uni lot. I do play golf. I'm not great at golf, so when I finish football, which is as of now, hopefully I can get a little bit better. But I have done some like just media videos for them, post it up, and it's a good crack for them. They seem to enjoy it. But other than that, I really enjoy tennis and a bit of skiing whenever I can get out there. But it's a bit difficult with a little one and another little one on the way. Yeah.
What's your handicap then?
Don't ask. Honestly, it's as high as you can get it.
Okay, fair enough. Fair.
Yeah.
Initiation song. Have you ever done one?
Yeah. Being loyal to only a few teams, I've only had to do a few songs, but I normally stick to a cheesy pop song. And for WARE, I did "I Want It That Way" by Backstreet Boys. Pretty easy to sing.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, I can't sing for toffee, so
But I mean, players can't either, so I wouldn't worry about it. I've witnessed some of the worst singing I've ever seen in either like the WARE changing room or in that Turkish Greek bar in WARE. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Excellent. Well, Dave, massive thanks for joining me. I just want to say on behalf of myself and Pete, thanks for everything you and the players do. Retweeting our stuff and things like that. It really do appreciate it, and it's fantastic what you guys do for us.
I mean, to be honest, it's a pleasure having you guys cover our games all the time, and we always look for the highlights as well, because obviously, well, up until a few years ago, I'd never had one recording any of my games, so you never get any highlights, get to see yourself play, and what you guys do on a regular basis is fantastic for not just WARE, it's fantastic for non-league football.
Well, it's a pleasure doing it all, mate. But I'll say thankful, and never know, I might see you pre-season, mate. I mean, at least to see you down there to come and watch a game, and you can join us in the commentary box.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe not pre-season, but you might see me with a beer when the season starts. Who knows?
Excellent, mate. Well, like I say, thanks very much for joining us, and I hope to see you soon.
Yeah, no problem. Cheers, Simon. All the best.
Cheers.